I think you just keep going on. It doesn't mean that's- You just let us know not to say anything.
I really want to say it's live.
I think you just keep going on. It doesn't mean
That's us. That's
Recognize you tonight, huh?
Well, the team, yes.
Team.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can't stand within 6 feet of me, I'm sorry. I measure my distance. Measuring my distance. Gotta have 6 feet.
I know.
Pronounce the name of this. Because that's. Yes. Yes.
Okay, ready? Okay, I want to call this meeting, the Tahlequah School Board to order. It's our regular monthly meeting, and Wendy, we're all here. Pledge of Allegiance, Chrissy.
Cambry Reed in kindergarten in Mrs. Clark's class at Greenwood. Her parents are Chase and Brittany Reed. Cambry likes dancing, art, JoJo Siwa, Barbies, swimming, movies and popcorn, and playing with her friends and little brother at the park. She also enjoys spending time with her family. Also have Jackson Cornell in kindergarten in Mrs. Clark's class at Greenwood. So there's Amber Cornell. Jackson likes to play baseball, go fishing, and camping with his family at Sequoia State.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
and to the republic which stands one nation,
and God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, it's Tigers Roar, everybody's favorite catch, David Spears.
Well, I'll speak real briefly on maybe top of that kiddos this year, but before we do that, we do want to recognize the team accomplishments and student accomplishments. Doesn't point out as well. Coach Beard was the Region 3 Coach of the Year this year at 5A. Really great guy, great coach. Happy. I'll let you talk about your kiddos and go from there.
You come up there.
Do what? Hey, if you step right over there, everybody can see you. That's
Basically, just here to, recognize our athletes, and I appreciate the opportunity to get to talk about them, because that's one of the neatest things about coaching, is talking about your kid and the accomplishments they had this year. I'm gonna read off their names. Coach Miller isn't here, so I'll kind of be Coach Miller. Of course, if I was Coach Miller, I talked about midnight, so I can't do that. Anyway, your girls team consists of Kristen Campbell, Lily Couch, McKenna Hood, Abigail Johnson, Emma Maxwell, Celindia Mello, and Victoria Pham. They finished 5th overall in state. There were 2 All-States. We had Lily Couch as state runner-up. McKenna Hood was 4th. So the name will be forever ingrained in one of those banners at the TMAC, which is great. Lily Couch is 2-time All-Stater. She got as a freshman as well as her junior year. All of them PR'd, and if the dadgum ADM had been a little bit too low, she'd been state champion. Sepulpa ended up winning the thing, a girl from Sepulpa. So if Sepulpa hadn't gone down, we'd have had a 5A state champion. That's just how it goes. We'll just have to beat them next time. What's really neat about it, they had a GPA of 3.932. So pretty intelligent bunch. The boys team, which I have the privilege of coaching, and talk about an honor to get to go with a great bunch of kids. Self-motivated. All these kids have worked since the first part of June, around June 8th. Practice tirelessly on their own weekends. Matter of fact, Eddie Barnes, called him Fast Eddie. He didn't even take a day off. Really kind of overdid his lower leg just a little bit. But the group, awesome group to have to coach and be around. Integrity, character, all those words you like to use. These young men and ladies represent that. So they represent Talladega with pride. This team consists of Trey Baker, Eddie Barnes, Eric Burns, Blaine Jones, Jack Key, Sammy Mejia, and Jaron Sherrill. And their GPA was 3.853. And for the 3rd year in a row, they got one of the distinguished academic awards in the state of Oklahoma, which is a pretty neat thing. It's always good if you can get the state champion out in the deal. We didn't get that. We figured goals out that various things, we were about 1 short. Also, these guys, Major Lakes champions 3 years in a row. Pretty well handled Major Lakes. I think 3 or 4 guys finished in the top 10. East regional champions. We're number 2 in state, just lost by a total of 8 points. And what's neat about this whole deal is we ran it in free state. We're good enough to run a free state. Thank goodness we got to go to that. They beat us by 40 points, which is Piedmont. And then for the state championship, they just beat us by 8. So our young men, you're talking about courage and guts, and our sport is other sports punishment. These guys run for fun. They don't get to bounce the ball or hit anything with a bat or anything. They run because they like to do it. About 50 to 60 miles a week. And then got the state runner-up trophy, which he wanted to You always feel like you failed if you don't get into the top rung, but hey, we did the best we could do. Like I say, the guys left at home, of course, Coach Cloud witnessed that. And I think we shot. Just a little bit. And as gifts, Mindy McKee, going to present this to the board. She framed some plaques and pictures of our girls team and then our boys team. So this is kind of a gift to the board.
Thanks, Pat.
Oh, thank you all. Appreciate it. That's about all I got. It's really nice that we got to compete this fall. Thank you for that opportunity. You know, it was an honor to represent Tahlequah, the state cross country meet. So thank you all. Appreciate y'all giving us the opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Item C, discussion and vote to approve or not approve the minutes for previous meetings.
I vote to approve the October 2020 minutes.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Mr. Meyer,
Aye.
Mr. Shepherd,
Aye.
Ms. Nemo,
Aye.
Ms. Walker, and I. Discussion about to approve or not to approve the monthly financial report.
Short and sweet. Monthly financials for the month of October, cash balance in the bank, $5,969,687.02. That is broken down by general fund at $5,448,787.41. Building fund at $376,148.82. Co-op is in the negative $26,576.16. And sinking fund has a balance of $171,326.95. All of that can be seen on pages 1 through 7. Collections for the month: general fund, $2,680,325.41. Building fund, $1,235,078. Sinking fund, $5,700. We should be starting to see ad valorem next month. We'll see how it progress on that. Expenditures for the month of October: payroll, $2,414,008.66. Accounts payable, $691,156.42. Any questions on general building bonds? Activity: cash in the bank, $657,066.06. CDs are at $256,190.48. Total $913,256.54. Activity accounts are on page 17. I believe started. Questions? We have heard rumor that they are starting to process our impact aid payments for this last year's application. And that's going to be really nice because a lot of that's going to go back into the building fund to help finish some of the projects we started.
Question maybe for the one, but we had talked, I think that we were before
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
Have you got anything back?
Oh, I can't. No, we sent them out. They have asked. Well, we were just going to give them about 2 to 3 weeks. They've asked for more time, so we're going to look at those. I think in the very first part of January, and it's a pretty nice proposal. Sabrina did a great job. Called some of our colleagues across the state to kind of intermix what we had and what they had. Proposal. It's going to be a nice compare.
mainly curious about the timeline.
Yeah.
It's not
Right.
Right.
We take all the time we need. Anything else?
Oh,
I vote to approve the monthly financials.
I'll second that. Any discussion? Ms. Walker? Ms. Nemo?
Aye.
Mr. Shepherd?
Aye.
Mr. Myers?
Aye.
And I. Now we have Principal Director's Report, Nikki Malloy.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me tonight. I just want to share a little bit about our social services program. We're calling it our Tigers Roar team. And just let you guys know a little bit about what I've stepped into and kind of what barriers we've had to shift and adjust for this year. Lacey Wilson left some huge shoes to fill. She has laid a lot of great foundation for this program. And with the help of Tanya, we've been able to acquire more staff members on this team, more resources. So we're just trying to grow it and meet the needs of our students. So a little piece of my job is the family engagement piece. And this is a piece that we've had to shift a little bit because we can't really have people in our buildings after school and for those family engagement nights. But we have some amazing administrators that they're thinking outside of the box. And with the principals and the vice principals, they've come up with some virtual events that they put out on Facebook to encourage that family engagement. We're having informational nights. Another big piece of that is the SNAP signups for our families. The Cherokee County DHS office is closed this year. And that was a place where our families could go and they could get assistance on signing up for that. So by the end of January, we'll have 3 staff members at Tahlequah Public Schools that will be completely trained. And we'll have the resources to do that at our Family Resource Center at the White House on Mission Avenue. So we're excited to get that out for our families and provide that for Cherokee County. We've been doing home visits, lots of home visits. Tanya talked to you guys a little bit about the curbside inspection that they did this summer with the 21st Century Grant. So we just kind of piggybacked on that. We had some students identified that needed that, and so we just continued with that. And we're doing everything from technical assistance while we're at those home visits to just checking in on how's mental health going right now in the house and what supports do the parents need. Robert's team and the technology coaches gave us a little on the fly training about how to do the hotspots and the things we can help on Chromebooks when they're acting up. So we're able to do that when we're in the home. That was very nice. Counseling referrals is another piece of that. We're still doing our care teams, but those are all virtual at the time. So we're adjusting. But here are some examples of the family nights we've done this far. We've had a math and literacy night at Greenwood. We've had a family game night at Cherokee. The middle school did a really good informational piece on the effects of vaping. And I didn't get to add this on there, but the high school did scholarship help and how to apply for the FAFSA. So we're getting stuff out to our families. A little bit of a challenge, but we're overcoming it. Some things that I'm doing outside of the school day, these are the committees that I'm getting to go and serve on. I've always been proud to say that I work for Tahlequah Public Schools and that I live in Tahlequah, but holy moly, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that I have no idea. So this is a list that I get to serve on. One of the ones that we've added this year is the Cherokee County Child Welfare Community Council. And that was just kind of developed to fill that need of the office closing. So we're trying to think out of the box as a community that helps support that. The other part of my job is the McKinney-Vento Homeless Education Act. And currently we have 284 students that have qualified this year. It's about 28 kids more than last year, which is to be expected with the circumstances. But once a student is identified on that, there are things that we can offer as a district. If we have an unaccompanied youth, I can go and help that child fill out their FAFSA. I can help find documents. If we have a family that is on that list where they qualify, we can help them with residency requirements. We can help them apply for documents, medical records. We can even take some of those kids to the doctor if we need to get them up to date on immunizations or to get a physical. So they're remove those barriers so that they have that same access to everything that we have to offer at Tahlequah Public Schools. Food pantry. This is manned by Myra Reed at the high school, and she does a fabulous job. It's open to any families in the district, and it has already seen a lot of use this year. Lots of families reaching out. There's a partnership with the Eastern Oklahoma Food Pantry, but then we also get donations for this. Right now, Tahlequah Lumber is doing a food drive for our backpack and our food. So we get community resources and outside resources for that, and we're thankful for it.
Who do individuals contribute to? So through the other agencies?
Yes, or like right now with that food drive going on at Tahlequah Lumber, there's things like that throughout the year that we're going to set up to try to provide additional services to that. But we really have unlimited access to that partnership, where all we have to do is apply, put in what we need, and then they send that to us. The backpack program, right now we have 198 students that we're serving every week. It's funded through donations. We've received 2 donations in the last 2 days for this program. So we've got a good community. They're good to us. We serve 55 virtual students every Friday on that backpack program. So Child Nutrition has packed it every week. They pack for us where we can take 5 breakfasts and 5 lunches out to our virtual families that aren't able to get out and pick up at the sites or at one of the 2 locations. That's been really nice to add. We've kind of shifted with us going to virtual distance learning this week. So we're going to actually go and deliver 119 virtual backpacks on Friday with those lunches. So we're excited about that. Our team helped this summer with the deliveries. We also helped on those few days at the beginning where we had a lot of child staff out. We were in the cafeterias helping prepare the food, get them out, and get them delivered. Care teams, of course, we're doing that by Zoom at all sites. Principals, assistant principals, SROs, school nurses, our special education teachers, social workers, and other guests are invited to them. We talk about our students, what their needs are, we track that, and we check back there to make sure that we're meeting those needs. Some other things we've got going on, we've got a clothing closet at each site. I have a washer and dryer at every site, and we have access to a shower at every site. So if we have kiddos that are needed, that is something that they have access to. We also have the Zoe Institution that is giving donations to our Aurora account so we can go out and purchase needed items. And we've used that quite a bit already this year. We've had a lot of kiddos that, whatever the circumstances, that they don't have any clothes, or they've had to move in the middle of the night, or they've had to double up with another family. So we're able to do a requisition and go out and be able to get them some food, get them some clothes, get them shoes, socks, and needed items. We got a toy drive coming up. We just got the angel tree going with NSU. Got those all delivered to the site. And again, our site have tackled that. They're putting that out on Facebook. They're getting that information out. Their parents can call if they want to adopt an angel. They're overcoming that boundary of not having to. And then we're going to start with our Rotary basket. Again, how amazing our community is. If you've seen on the Facebook pages, the love is there. We've had Missions Committee from First Baptist Church donated over 6,012 masks for our students. And the United Methodist Church donated 1,600 cotton masks for our students. So we've been able to get those out to the sites for everyone to use, and we're using them. Cornerstone Fellowship has donated 100 new backpacks, items, and 2 bags for our backpack program. I don't know if you guys saw the tiger mask. I think we talked about it a couple of times, but they ended up 3,200 handmade washable masks. And guys, these were the masks with the Paw Patrols on it, the Spider-Man, getting to take those out to our families. And then we've also had, Lacey had a big vision with the donations, with everybody being off in the spring. We were going to do a big community garage sale, and we weren't able to do that with social distancing. So we had a huge amount of clothes and kind of had to shift and decide how we were going to put that out for our families. We did a survey that we sent out with our backpack deliveries. And so we were able to get sizes, needs, pack that out, and deliver those the week before school started. So that was pretty amazing to get to see those kiddos have gently used items, really nice items to start the school year. Thank you guys for always supporting us, and if you guys have any questions or concerns for me.
Nikki, is there an angel tree at every school site?
Yes.
And are the names on there for students at that site?
At that particular site.
Okay.
Yes. I think we've got 2 sites that they've donated all of, I mean, like all of theirs have been donated, Heritage and I think Sequoia were left, I think like 10 names left on it. So they're just putting reminders out there. So we need to get everything collected by December 2nd to drop off.
So how do we contribution?
Okay, you can call a specific site and they'll give you a number with information, a picture of it or email it to you. Or you can go to NSU Student Services and you can do just a cash donation and then they will go and shop for the leftover ink. Haven't been adopted yet.
You've done a great job this year.
I love this job. I'm very thankful. It fills my heart every day.
We're lucky to have you.
Thanks, superintendent before.
Okay, you have a copy of that in front of you. Mr. Myers, Mr. Shepherd, you should have that as well. Earlier. The COVID update, and these numbers are just since the last board meeting. Since the last board meeting, we've had 12 students, 3 staff members test positive. We've had a total of 187 students quarantined, and 18 staff members since the last board meeting. All in all, the weeks have kind of predictable, 1 or 2 a week, and then this last week and a half, we did have a big uptick for our staff. We did pretty bond survey, we have that attached. It's in the pages, a short little bar graph, where you didn't get the kind of number of feedback that we wanted, but that's what we have there. You can see the staff results. We had 232 staff members take it. 40% supported proposal 1, which was the small addition to the high school. 52% supported proposal number 2, which was the new 9th grade center. 7% did not support it. As far as the community numbers, proposal 1, which again was the small addition to the high school, so we had 39% in favor of that. We had 281 total people take the community survey, so this isn't a large amount of people. 40% supported proposal number 2, the new 9th grade center, and then about 20% did not support it. So those are our numbers. But then again, like I said, that's not a huge swath of people that. As far as an update for that, as I told you in a couple of emails last week, we've had some issues on the closing land over the purchase. I completed a new document today. There was some closing costs that they didn't account for the lease agreement, so we had to go back and redo that. So I have those papers today. Told that we should close hopefully this week, but then again, this 15 close. There's no, the real estate company is doing a great job. Jason Ryan's who we're working with, Centric, they're doing everything we need to do, but we're having issues with the leasing company and the bank and all the stuff in between there. So it's getting there. It's going to get done. It's just once all of the details come. So I'm hopeful that we've done all the paperwork needed now. Because we worked close a while back, but then we met the phone estimate. They had some people change over where they couldn't sign it up and had to wait on their board meeting. So that took a month time. So it's really nobody's fault, but it's just been a lot of trying to hopefully that we have all that done now. We can continue that discussion. So that's where we're at with that. You also have a blank evaluation document. Just give that out to you next month. My evaluation, so we'll have an executive do that. Again, my suggestion is to fill it out on your own, bring it with you. I'll also email you last year's completed evaluation, so you can look at that. The other documents that I can get to you additionally. Tentative training this week. It's the one that I attend about calculating your midterm adjustments. Every year, halfway, all the districts in the state, their state aid gets readjusted based on if you have an increase or a decline in enrollment. We were insulated to a point because you are funded off your 3-year high, so we can claim last year's numbers no matter what. But even with that being said, the factors are going to reduce this year just because the amount of revenue that has increased. And also our ad valorem went up a little bit, so that's going to reduce our state aid a little bit. It's not an exact science right now until it comes out, but I'm looking at between $150,000 to $200,000 cut in December out of our anticipated state aid, which is it's sizable, but we can handle that. We'll be okay with that cut. Now, I do want to say, hopefully life goes back to normal at some point in the very near future. If we were to have to stay on this year's numbers, roughly in about a year and a half, which would be our second midterm adjustment from now, we would be looking at these numbers right here. It would be about $800,000 to $1 million cut state aid. So now again, we are up about 20 to 30 kids from October 1. So we've gained back some of those numbers. I'm confident that those numbers will continue to go up, but I'm trying to scare anybody for just worst case scenario. If this goes on longer than a year and a half, is a possibility. I don't think that will happen. I think it'll start to come back to normal a little bit. A lot of these kids will come back and experiencing steady growth before, so that the kids are still there, the community is still growing. So I think we'll go back on track, but I want you to be aware of the possibilities of it. Impact aid, Diane mentioned briefly a different thing about it, but the Senate also passed a bill last week. A lot of our funding was tied on getting information to our kids. Some of the kids are virtual with distance today. It makes it very hard to get some of that information. So we were very worried on the impact aid side because we have to send out surveys every year, and you're funded off the information surveys. The Senate passed a bill that's going to allow us to use last year's numbers. If they were higher, you can use this year's if you want. If not, you can just go off last year's numbers for the ease of your application. We're still waiting on the president to sign that. So that's good news on the impact aid. Just want to mention, I told you about the new board meeting requirements. We do have 2 members joining by Zoom today. Future going from here on is back to the original requirements for board. So if you ever have to attend virtually, please let us know at least 48 hours in advance. We posted about noon the day before. Once we posted, we won't be able to change it. If you're listening virtual or you're listening here, we can't flip flop like before. So just make sure you tell us, and it's not a big deal. We make it work. We can do that. And the same thing on. I've asked most of our principals, or all of our principals, not to attend board meetings. I mean, they can if they want, but I told them they don't have to, unless they're giving you a report. Especially now the reports, we can't do those reports via Zoom. But we could, but then they would have to list their home address. So we're trying to keep our crowd as low as we can. So that's why they're not attending meetings. Of that. And then also to be aware, the ability to join, like we are now via Zoom, you cannot do that in a session. Even though we can list a regular meeting, if you are distance or Zoom, like for next month, we're not physically here, you cannot participate in the session. So I'm not sure if I understand that.
I didn't hear that last part.
You won't just say next month.
I said I'm sorry.
Your person participate in the executive session. You have to be physically on site to participate in the executive session.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, that's all I have.
Do you have any public to be heard?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
On the COVID numbers that you're talking about, 187 quarantined. Is that from the beginning? Is that a total number that have been quarantined?
That's from the last board meeting.
From the last board meeting? All right,
Yes.
now, in those numbers, do we have an idea of, are they primarily at high school, or are they at the elementary school? What was the percentage on those? Do we have any idea?
I didn't break it down that way, but it's fairly evenly distributed. We have had cases at each site, and as I added them up today, I'd say it was it was about as even as it could get. We got some at each site for the last month. No one site had more, except for teachers. You know, we did have a case at Greenwood, here recently that required 8 teachers quarantined, so that's the majority of the teacher quarantine number. But outside of that, it's been pretty steady at each site.
Okay, thank you.
No public to be heard. Wendy?
No.
Okay. Discussion and vote to approve or not to approve the following surplus. I move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Myers?
Aye.
Mr. Shepherd? Ms. Nemo? Aye. Ms. Walker? Aye. And aye. Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the following bids or quotes. I move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Ms. Walker? Aye. Ms. Nemo?
Aye.
Mr. Shepherd?
Aye.
Mr. Myers?
Aye.
And aye. Business items, consent docket, vote to approve or not to approve the following.
I move to approve items J 1, 2, and 3.
I second that.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? Mr. Myers?
Aye.
Mr. Shepherd?
Aye.
Ms. Nemo?
Aye.
Ms. Walker? Aye. And aye. Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the addition of the following 2021 TPS Resident Teacher Mentor Committee members. I move to approve. Committee members.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion? Ms. Walker? Aye. Ms. Nemo?
Aye.
Mr. Shepherd?
Aye.
Mr. Myers?
Aye.
And aye. Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the schedule of encumbrances.
Move to approve L 1 and 2.
I'll second. Any discussion? Mr. Myers?
Aye.
Mr. Shepherd?
Aye.
Ms. Nemo?
Aye.
Ms. Walker? Aye. And aye. Okay, item M, discussion and vote to approve or not approve the transition to distance learning for all pre-K through 12 students for the week of November 16th through 20th.
Move to approve.
I'll second. That's this.
And
That's
what-
this week we're in right now.
And what this is, obviously, we're there and we made that decision, you know, counseling of the board members, but obviously just want to make that official. The board has voted on this week as being closed, so that's all we're doing there.
Okay. Mr. Myers?
Aye.
Mr. Shepherd?
Aye.
Ms. Nemo?
Aye.
Ms. Walker? Aye. And aye. Item N, discussion of vote to approve or not approve the possible extension of distance learning after the Thanksgiving break. I move to approve.
Second.
Okay, I want to discuss for a minute. I want to hear from Mr. Pack. I talked to several high school teachers today. I know how elementary teachers feel. And it was kind of split between high school. A couple of things they said was that it's hard to report attendance. They're having a hard time with attendance reporting. And the teachers who are teaching solely distance learning are having a large 20%, I think that's large, fail rate of students in their classes. So can you give me an opinion?
Yeah.
Really?
Thanks for asking. Yeah, it is mixed amongst teachers. You ought to look at pros and cons list. Pros are definitely health and safety. Pros are definitely on the sideline for professional learning communities, time for teachers and administrators to meet together, plan, to collaborate, to kind of do what we're doing. Pros are on mental health as well. You're not afraid to be in your classroom as a teacher with not capable students. Cons are great as well. The quality of instruction is not as great. Hattie's research, the #1 indicator of success for a student is a teacher in the classroom.
Right.
So if you remove that component, you're automatically taking a huge hit. So there's a negative there as well. And I can't tell you other than anecdotal on like how many people teachers are in favor or against kind of thing. But I can tell you that my experience, it's harder to teach students at distance. It's much harder. It's also necessary. That's the world I'm living in.
I've had a couple of calls from high school, a lot of discussion of fatigue among the teachers. And some of that from the grade school also, but there are a number of the grade school teachers who have young children themselves, so this poses an issue with babysitting, and so I've heard quite a bit of frustration about our being out from the.
Yeah, I started getting emails and text
But it's
Friday evening
split.
after. Yeah, it is split, and you see both sides. You understand both sides. So.
My thoughts, and again, this is a difficult thing to talk about, just, we can go all the way back before school started, when we were talking about masks, when we were talking about schedules, everything is split. Well, there's no majority on either side. I would say a larger portion of the elementary teachers are in favor of in-person, and a larger majority of the high school are in favor of distance. Again, that's not everybody, there's some on both sides of that. Kind of as an administrator, you're caught in the middle a little bit. You go one way, you don't care about the safety of your staff and putting that message out. If we go the other way, we're not here for our parents and our kids, and they're not in school. Our parents, that single mom doesn't have anybody to watch their kids or stay home with them. So I mean, it's hard to just sell one side of it, because it's, no matter what you do, there's going to be somebody that it's not ideal for. My thing, and obviously we went, the biggest precursor of this week was the red designation. We haven't hit that until this time. All the county schools are out for that, and a large portion of the states are out for red. But then again, that also worries me to an extent. We shut down in March because things were going to get better. But we started back in August and things are worse. We delayed graduation so things could get better, but we end up having it when things were worse. We say we're going to shut down and come back after Thanksgiving, things get better. They're probably going to be worse. We say we're going to come back after Christmas, things are probably going to be worse. There is no end on the horizon, a magic date that we can say that when we come back, it's going to get better. In my personal opinion, until the vaccine gets distributed and until it starts to trickle its way down, I don't see things changing for us. So it makes it hard for me to say, well, we're going to come back after Thanksgiving, because then the numbers could be 5,000 a day. To say, well, we're going to stay out till Christmas because that's going to make things better. After Christmas, they could be 5,000 a day too. We don't know that. So our reasoning, and because the county is red now, what if the county is red when Christmas is over? I just don't know that we can, have no end to us not coming to school. Mr. Pack said it well. I mean, the virtual, we're doing the best we can, but we're not that grandparent that's raising those kids. They don't have those resources best to do. I do think the red designation put us distance until Thanksgiving. The board, we may need to make a different choice, because just be perpetual red and perpetual out of school, I don't know that that's a solid choice either. Again, I'm not giving you a good answer here, but I'm just trying to see things from all the angles. Either way is going to make half the people unhappy. what we do. So in my mind, those are really the three options, you know, that the board has right now. We can return to school after Thanksgiving break. We can say we're going to return to school after Christmas break, or we can say that following Thanksgiving break, we're going to follow the county designations. If we're red, we're out. If we have to go back to orange, we come back. I see no evidence, no numbers to say that we're going to be anything but red for a while.
You know, I think a key point, and you're the person who knows this, is staffing. I mean, do we have enough people to maintain
This would have been the first week
going to
that
school?
we probably would have had to shut down an elementary,
Okay,
probably Greenwood.
all right.
We're getting close to Cherokee, maybe. But until then, I mean, and it's been a struggle. We don't have enough subs. We're covering. So I'm not saying that things are just rosy.
Right.
I'm saying as far as enough people to keep the doors open, to keep the classrooms going, we've been able to do that to this point. And, you know, to me, that's the ultimate predictor. You know, if we have enough staff to do it, then we should do it. But then also that puts me, you know, talking about teachers. Well, if you're still here, keep on coming, and if you get sick, we'll plug somebody else in. So I worry about that message as well. You know, so, but yes, in actuality, until this week, we were not ever in real danger of having to shut down a site based on staff.
Then, can we leave it?
The reason I was asking about the percentages of,
What, Mr. Miles?
are you hearing me now?
Yes, sir.
I said the reason I asked earlier about the percentages in elementary school and high school and so on of positive cases and quarantines was I was wondering if it's possible that we could keep maybe the elementary schools open while we would virtual the high school, since the elementary schools are younger students that need the parents that have to get them there and back and so on. High schools are kids are old enough, more independent, and get themselves back and forth to school and so forth. But if it's evenly spread, if we're that close that we would have had to shut down one of the elementary schools regardless this week, then that really doesn't become a factor. I think it's probably more important for the elementary kids to have in-person learning than the high school kids. Maybe they handle the virtual learning a little better than the young kids do. At the same time, I'm where you are with the county being red. And we see the same thing in Tulsa, where it's even much worse. And you see schools in Tulsa are opening elementary schools now instead of closing them. And so I'm very perplexed by this. Has anyone, have we put out any kind of feelers to the parents or to the community as to how they feel about this, what they would like to see done? Because I had calls too, in regards, as everybody else has.
My best answer for that, if we're wanting the answers of the community and the parents, 70% of our parents haven't enrolled in traditional school. So in my mind, 70% of them want to be here at school. I don't think there's any qualms about that. I think if we survey them right now, that would be the same thing. 30% probably don't, so they've signed up for virtual. So I mean, I don't know that the red designation changes their mind. It's just us as a school district. That came down at noon on Friday, so we had to make a decision as far as that goes. And then again, sometimes the district has to make those decisions in the best interest of the parents and kids and staff. But as far, I would be pretty confident, if we did do that survey, that 60 to 70% would respond they want to be in school because they already have them in school. I don't think that's.
I'm concerned with the, part of, and it was no one's fault, obviously, we did get it on Friday, but I think it's important now, especially for the 3 weeks back between Thanksgiving and Christmas, to make a decision and not wait and say, we'll see what the county is, because that's the, people that do have to find childcare and those types of things, the more leave that we can, so we can tell them now, we're not coming back until January, whatever, at least they've got a week and a half to make, arrangements for that 3 weeks. That doesn't have to, as a
Yes.
young and middle school age kids that we're gonna be, it's gonna be 3 weeks from the time we come back to what our normal break would have been. I think you're right, the numbers are not going down. We're gonna come back after Thanksgiving, where people have, despite, everyone telling them not to, have had big Thanksgiving dinners and be skyrocketing. And if we're already on the cusp of having enough teachers, it's more likely than not that we would have to close the site between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And if we can make that decision now, again, to at least give, parents and teachers, teachers have to, many of them are parents, give them a little bit of time to make arrangements. I think that's for what is probably an inevitable situation anyway. And it's tough then to say, okay, if we decide that, then whatever our January day is that we're supposed to come back. Oh, it's early. It's fifth. If we're still in the red, are we coming back or not? But I'm in favor of virtual during the Christmas break. I think we're going to see a lot of schools do that. The first question that I was asked, I didn't get a lot of complaints. I got a lot of questions. Well, are we really going to come back after Thanksgiving? I think the community kind of thinks that it was already going up so fast and the number's so high that maybe we wouldn't.
Once Easter's coming back, we're coming back after Thanksgiving.
I do know when the point Ed was making about more difficult with the younger children, I think for those kids who have someone there with them, they are more responsive to the actual work. I've heard from a number of high school teachers who, when they contacted parents, the problem was the parents said they were in, he or she, was in their rooms, and we thought they were doing work, so you're not getting the monitoring. High school kids are escapists much more.
Second
So
first
they're better
graders.
at it, but
I said second first graders, they can all find YouTube.
But, I think we all have, and the community and everyone to understand this is kind of a gap future that we know we're going to have to really make up for whatever academic losses kids have had. But I don't know, I'm more worried about, do we have teachers who, are we gonna have enough people there to teach and handle kids? And about the welfare of the teachers, of the adults especially.
We're talking here just about 3 or 4 weeks between Thanksgiving and Christmas break, is that right?
3 weeks, Dad, there's 3 weeks.
So it'd be an additional 3 weeks of shutting down if we were to wait until and reevaluate in January.
I didn't get that.
You're in favor of just shutting down those 3 weeks?
I think you need.
Well, I don't know yet. I'm still thinking about it. I'm not sure.
He said there's
I still kind of like the idea of maybe shutting or virtualizing the
what you're
elementary
discussing.
school.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm having a really hard time because I know there's a big delay between when I'm talking and you're responding. So when I was, I think, no, I lost the track from my mind. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Anyway, so.
Can you hear me? This is Sean.
Yes, Sean, go
I
ahead.
understand what Miss Nemo was saying, and I'm kind of on the opposite spectrum. Everybody that parents has came to me or called me, wants their child in school, and it's so hard to say here. I mean, I hear everybody's valid concerns. What everybody's saying is correct, but it's so hard for us to sit here and predict the future of what's going to happen. So to look outside, what's going to happen, whatever 10 days from now, or after Thanksgiving, yes, more than likely the cases may be up, but they're, like Mr. Ashlock said, they're probably may be up in January. So it's hard for like the child care to get child care. I understand that what Miss Nemo was saying, but also I would be more of the mindset, like, let's not make a decision myself right now. I mean, I would say, let's come back after Thanksgiving. And if we was going to extend that point to after Christmas, that we would make that decision maybe the day after Thanksgiving or with a moment's notice. I mean, I know that doesn't give a lot of people time maybe for childcare and stuff, but it's also hard to say, let's just take it out until after January. So I would be more in favor myself to return after Thanksgiving or to wait till then, let's say, to make a decision. And if it's that bad and we have a lot of faculty, staff, students that's sick, it seems like we can roll with this, or we have been, with a moment's notice of the phone call to say, hey, school's not resuming Monday if it gets that bad. That's my thoughts.
Well, just the logistics of that is all I would worry about. Again, kind of to the point Ms. Nemo made, if we're waiting until, again, a day or two before that Monday and telling everybody, you know, if we're coming back or not coming back, that lends itself to another issue. I disagree. I agree with Sean. I mean, I would like to come back.
I would.
At the same time, I don't know that we can wait until then to decide that we are or aren't.
To go back to.
So I don't.
What is your feeling? I mean, you have a better feel for this than any of us. What would your inclination be? Would it be to head back and see if we can at least get a couple more weeks in there before?
My personal opinion, I'd be in favor of coming back after Thanksgiving. Just give us a 2-week break to clear off all quarantines that we have on the book right now. And then we can start back, and if we see things going the wrong way, we can make that quick decision. You know, if we need to. I wouldn't want to make a decision before we even try. Just my personal opinion. Because I just think if we tie it to the red designation, we're going to be red for a long time. So at some point in time, we're going to contradict ourselves and say, well, we're going to be out because it's red, and well, never mind, we're tired of being out, so we're going to come back even though it's red.
I think we have to tie it to our particular situation and the number of teachers that we have out, the number of students we have out. So I'm more in favor of taking, and this is what I thought on Friday when we talked about it. Take this week and Thanksgiving week, see where, and then try to come back. My preference, and you may just get back a week, but we might get 2 weeks and then have to take a.
I mean, any day that our kids spend in class, it's going to benefit them.
Exactly.
Better than a week.
I think that's particularly true of the elementary schools. That's why I think maybe we need to get the elementary kids back, and the high school kids could stay virtual, unless you just want everybody to be doing the same thing. And by the way, I think Robert has taken my video away. I can't get back on video.
We can hear you.
So we can hear you better.
It's helping your audio, yes.
Oh, okay, thank you. Then I don't feel quite so bad.
We miss seeing your face, but at least now we can hear you.
Well, my face isn't much to look at.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to extend virtual learning. So do either one of you want to redo your motion, or?
When you say extend to, what's the date you're?
Extend to the 3 weeks after Thanksgiving.
So
It wasn't specific, it just said extend after the Thanksgiving break, because I left it vague, because I didn't know where the conversation would take us. Since we did have that motion, we would just need to rescind that motion or go ahead and vote it down one way or the other, and then we can make another motion.
I'm still in favor of that.
Okay,
So
I mean,
think
I know
we-
we're not on the
Did you
same
make
page.
the
so-
motion?
I very well may lose, but I think we need to take the vote on that.
Did you make the motion, or did
I think
Lori?
Lori
Lori
did.
Lori did.
Okay, do you want to let it stand and just vote on the motion?
Standing motion. Let's stand, so.
So the motion is to extend distance learning until the Christmas break. Is that correct, Ms. Walker?
Students return on January the 5th.
Well, it says discussion and vote to approve or not approve. And we got the not approved.
Well-
aspect of that. Could we not vote to not approve?
But your
Yeah, you
motion was
can
to
vote to
approve.
not
Oh, the motion was to
Your motion
approve.
was
Okay.
to approve.
That's right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
But you didn't have a distinction in the motion. Do you want to amend that to 1 week or 3 weeks? Or to January 5th for second semester? I mean, does she need to do that?
We can tackle it either way.
Okay, so we can vote on how it sits right now. So the motion is, guys, to extend distance learning after Thanksgiving break. Okay, for all schools.
That would be our students returning on January the 5th. So you would be voting that all students will stay distance learning until January the 5th.
Mr. Myers,
No,
Mr. Shepherd,
No.
Ms. Nemo,
Yes.
Ms. Walker,
No,
and no. So we're gonna return to school after Thanksgiving break on that Monday.
Yes, as a result of that vote, that's what that means. We'll come back after Thanksgiving break. We will obviously continue to track, teachers report to us, whether it's this week or next week during Thanksgiving break about, positivity. Students may slow down a little bit since they're not here, but they're still required to tell us. So hopefully, if we see, a big uptick or a big issue, we can always schedule a special meeting that week of Thanksgiving break and come back and if it needs to have another conversation. But otherwise, basically that vote will just say we'll come back after Thanksgiving. We're gonna try to make it to Christmas break.
on something like that also, we ought to read out and do the approve or not approve, so we have the choice, if I had read it. Doesn't matter, we can take care of it, so.
Okay, item O, excuse me, discussion and vote to approve or not approve amending the 2021 schools calendar to reflect 4 second semester distant learning days.
Move to approve adding 4 distance learning days.
Second that.
And what this is, we met prior to school starting and we approved the first semester days. At that time, we just kind of said, well, let's see what happens because we don't know what the world's going to be like later on. They seem to work pretty well. And I visited with Mr. Pack about second semester. With us not having the late start Fridays and the opportunities for our teachers to meet, collaborate, and work, this was kind of a good time for them to be able to do that. I settled on putting 4 in here just because we had 1 a month first semester. I will say, looking ahead to next year, if we start to not being able to have late start Fridays, we may incorporate more of these. Next year, we may change the days, day of the week, or whatever the case may be, but next year we may tackle it different. This year, basically what we've done, just continue the Fridays that we did first semester, January the 29th, February the 26th, March the 26th, and then April the 30th. I did not put one in May just for the fact that it's being a short month. So that'll just add 4 distance days to our current calendar. That being said, we just thought that would be good time for our teachers to collaborate, and it's only 4 days out of the second semester. And students will still be on distance learning, so it still counts as a project.
What were those dates again? Or is it on the calendar?
It's on the calendar. It's
Okay.
designated. It's in your packet.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, ready to vote, right? Mr. Myers,
aye,
Mr. Shepherd,
Aye.
Ms. Nemo,
Aye.
Ms. Walker,
Aye.
and I. P, motion and vote to approve or not approve personnel items P1 through P3.
I move to approve items P1 through P3 with the following names and positions on item P2. Victor Hudson in maintenance, Kenneth Kompalube in maintenance. I said that right. Ricky Ballard, maintenance grounds. Raymond McGee, transportation / mechanic. Catherine Long, transportation bus driver. Mackenzie Hill, heritage special care para. Jessica Lunn, heritage PT para sub. And Wendy Jordan, THS Spanish teacher pending the certification. And I put that in form of a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have any discussion?
I just have a question. We have one of the effective dates that is not filled in. Does that need to be? It's question marks.
Yeah, this one.
Ricky Valley.
Ricky Ballard, it's December the 7th. I thought, where did we get that? That did that. It's December 7th.
It's on mine
So when
too.
you let me,
Online.
That's what it's
It's
for.
mine too.
I didn't notice it until
Yeah.
now.
Oh, my bad.
December
December 7th. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I have the dates online.
Ricky Ballard, maintenance grounds, December 7th, 2020.
Yes.
Any other questions? Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Ms. Emo?
Aye.
Mr. Shepherd?
Aye.
Mr. Myers?
Aye.
And I. And we have one piece of new business.
Yes, we just have a supplemental contract for local ed position, English position. We just didn't get the contract. So we both the agenda.
Do I have a motion to approve this contract?
I move to approve the contract.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Emo. Any discussion? Mr. Myers?
Aye.
Mr. Shepherd?
Aye.
Ms. Emo?
Aye.
Ms. Walker?
Aye.
And I. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Any discussion? Ms. Walker? Ms. Emo?
Aye.
Mr. Shepherd?
Aye.
Mr. Myers?
Aye.
And I. We're adjourned.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.